I'm Assistant Editor Jamie Elfman. Welcome to On the Record. Here's a look at what's currently impacting the ag equipment industry. John Deere reported its second quarter earnings this morning. The company reported worldwide net sales and revenues decreased 18% to $8.2 billion for the second quarter. Net sales of its equipment operations were down 20% to $7.4 billion. Overall profits fell by nearly 30% to $690 million versus $981 million a year ago. Worldwide sales of agricultural and turf equipment for the period declined by 25% to $5.7 billion. Operating from ag equipment sales was down 48%. Deere is projecting a decrease of about 19% for its full fiscal year 2015 and 17% for the third quarter. The company's worldwide sales of agriculture and turf equipment are forecast to decrease by 24% for fiscal year 2015. In the U.S. and Canada, ag equipment sales are expected to be down 25% for all of 2015. Specialty equipment dealers Brokaw Supply and Riggins Ag Equipment have finalized a merger. The new company, Ag Solutions Group, will specialize in planting, sprayer, and fertilizer application equipment, as well as a number of other specialty equipment lines. Dave Nelson, president of Brokaw Supply, says the two companies complement each other's skill sets and expertise and are stronger together than they are independently. Together, the new dealer group will have 6 locations in the 5-state region of Missouri, Iowa, Minnesota, Nebraska, and Kansas, to form one of the largest non-major ag equipment dealerships in the Midwest. Each dealership will keep its name, but they are introducing new logos that incorporate Ag Solutions Group. Nelson explains they did not want to lose the identity that customers recognize.
If you think of our name, Ag Solutions Group, ag does not mean just necessarily agriculture, but it also means agronomic solutions. So you think agronomic solutions, you think of fertilizers or chemicals. We want to give a new meaning to that. We're going to be able to provide you with the tools, the equipment, the precision application equipment for your farming operation or your retail fertilizer operation. And so you've got Ag Solutions Group. It's a group of us people. It's Brokaw, it's Riggins. They've got a store down in Concordia, Missouri called Concordia Implement. It's more of a short-line farm equipment dealership. Okay. So we're a group of people working together. And because it's a group, someday there's going to be somebody else that may want to join us to come into our group. So we're a group of people helping people with their agronomic and agriculture solutions.
Other dealers on the move this week include JD Equipment, Moody Implement, Frontline Ag, Mazer Group, and Southeastern Farm Equipment. John Deere dealer JD Equipment opened a new location in Hilliard, Ohio, and closed its previous Hilliard location. Location and size were key factors in the decision to move, said the company. The new facility features a larger showroom and expanded displays. Moody Implement and Frontline Ag announced the merger of the 2 Montana John Deere dealerships. The combined dealerships will now be known as Frontline Ag Solutions. The integrated company will retain all 10 of the current locations of both dealerships. Mazer Group has announced plans to purchase Southeastern Farm Equipment. The deal, expected to be finalized July 1st, will mean that Mazer Group will operate all existing New Holland dealerships in Manitoba. It is now the largest New Holland dealership complex in North America, with 14 locations. Farmland values in the first quarter were down 2.5% from a year ago, according to the latest survey from the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis. This is the largest percentage decline in the survey's history. The Kansas City Federal Reserve Bank also reported that irrigated cropland values declined slightly below year-ago levels for the first time in 5 years. The value of non-irrigated land was down as well. Survey respondents expect values to decline further over the next 3 months. Low crop prices placed added stress on net farm incomes and contributed to weaker credit conditions in the first quarter, according to the Kansas City Fed. As farm income fell, cropland values moderated and more producers depended on financing to cover operating expenses, the branch says. The Chicago Federal Reserve Bank reported there was no year-over-year change in land values for the region. However, there were some key differences among states. For example, Wisconsin values were up 8%, while Iowa was down 6%. Now here's Associate Technology Editor Ian Gronow with the latest from the Technology Corner.
Thanks, Jamie. The ISOBUS 11783 standard was created about 15 years ago so different brands of tractors, implements, and terminals could work together seamlessly and automatically. As many dealers know, though, designating this path has been easier than walking it. To iron out the wrinkles in these compatibility issues, AEF holds 2 annual testing events known as Plugfests, one in Europe and one in the US. These international gatherings allow manufacturers to get an ISOBUS conformance test on newer equipment in hopes of gaining AEF certification. At this year's AEF Plugfest in Lincoln, Nebraska, manufacturers got a look at the Compatibility Database and ISOBUS check tool designed by Germany-based software developer Suntime. The check tool, which can eventually be used by dealers' precision technicians, can confirm the level of functionality between 2 given pieces of equipment. We caught up with Juan Aguilar, an application engineer with Suntime at this year's Plugfest, where he shared his outlook on how the database platform may lead to widespread ag equipment compatibility.
We've devised this ISOBUS check tool as a way to help whenever there is a compatibility problem. It allows for different manufacturers to work together in a very easy and organized way so that these problems get fixed faster. The end goal here is that in the future these devices would truly be plug and play. So when you see the label on a device that says ISOBUS certified, you have confidence that it's going to work with your system.
Available since February, the database has yet to see widespread use, but that's likely to change. Around 100 manufacturers and 100 dealers, mostly in Europe, are currently using the resource, but the AEF will be pushing for closer to 3,000 dealers by next year. Back to you, Jamie.
Thanks, Ian. Service Equipment, John Deere's largest Canadian dealer of ag equipment, reported its first quarter revenues increased $71.5 million, or 43%, compared to the same period of 2014. However, on a same-store basis, revenues were down $11 million, or 7%, versus the first quarter of 2014. For the agriculture segment, new equipment revenue was up 22%, but on a same-store basis, it was down 14%. Used equipment revenue for the quarter was up 69%, or 28% for the same-store revenue versus the same quarter of 2014. In its earnings report, the company said, parts revenue increased 21% on targeted aftermarket account management, while total equipment revenues remained comparable, although shifting in favor of used equipment. The strengthening of the US dollar has increased the price of new equipment, contributing to the value proposition of used equipment and supporting used profit margin. And now, from the Ag Equipment Archives. Hiram Moore and John Haskell built the first successful grain combined harvester thresher in 1834. It took 12 horses to work the machine through the field. At the time, it was calculated that the combine cut the cost of operation per acre down from $3 to 82 cents per acre. In 1842, Moore constructed the second iteration of the machine, which required 16 horses to pull. It threshed, cleaned, and bagged 25 acres of wheat per day. If you have any feedback or story suggestions, you can send them to kschmidt@lespub.com. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.